Hello dear students, today we are going to start our third part of chapter 1 crop production and management. Before starting this part, let us have a short recap of previous part. In previous lectures we have studied about the agricultural practices and farm management. Few steps were left which we will be discussing in this part. Let us start with irrigation. What is irrigation? Irrigation, the supply of water to crop at different interval is called irrigation. The time and the frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. As you all know, water is essential for the growth of plant. Proper watering of crop at the right time is very important. Indian farmers depend mainly upon monsoon or rain for watering the crop. At times the rain are scarce or sometimes there is no rain. The crops fail due to drought or there have been heavy rainfall and crop gets damaged due to flood. To overcome the dependence on rain, various irrigation schemes for efficient use of water resources are drawn depending on the sources of water. The fields are irrigated with water from pond, lakes, canal, well, tube wells, river, dams. The water is supplied to the field by different methods depending upon the different type of crop and the reason to be irrigated. There are two basic types of irrigation method, traditional method and modern method. In traditional method, cattle or human labor is used. Hence, these methods are cheaper but less efficient. The different traditional methods are mott, chain pump, rahat, dheki, etc. Modern methods of irrigation. Modern methods of irrigation are aimed at conserving water. At the same time, these methods ensure that water is equally distributed in different parts of field. There are two commonly known modern methods, sprinkler system and drip irrigation. Sprinkler system. In this method, perpendicular pipe with a rotating nozzle on the top joins to the main pipeline at the regular interval. A pump is used to allow water to flow under pressure in the main pipeline. This system is useful on uneven lands and in sandy soil where sufficient water is not available. Drip system. In this method, water falls drop by drop at the position of the root. This is economical method. It saves water and time. What is the need of irrigation? Irrigation helps for the germination of seed. It also helps to supply nutrient from soil to the all parts of the plant. It protects the plant from different weather conditions. The factors that affect irrigation are nature of crop, nature of soil and season. The time and the frequency of irrigation vary with crop, soil and season. For example, in case of wheat, irrigation is required at different stages of plant growth. But in case of rice, standing water is required. In summer, frequency of irrigation is higher due to increased rate of evaporation of water. But in winter, the irrigation rate reduces. This is the way different factor affects differently and which also changes the need of irrigation. Is weeding. Weeding means removal of weed. Before starting this topic, you must know what are weed. Weed are unwanted and uncultivated plants that grow along with the crop plant. If you visit a field, you will notice many weeds growing with the crop plant. These weeds are not grown by the farmer. They grow on their own. Some example of common weed are amaranthus and wild oat. Wheat reduces crop yield as they compete with the crop for water, minerals and sunlight. So it is necessary to remove them from the field from time to time. The removal of weed is called weeding. Weeding can be done by any one of the method like manually removal, removal with chemical. The weeds are removed or pulled out by hand or by cutting them close to the ground at intervals. This is done with the help of trowel or khurpi or harrow. Another method which can be used for removing weed, removal with chemical. Certain chemicals are used to kill the weeds. They are called weedicides. 2,4-D is a commonly used weedicide. This is the next step of crop production. You might have heard about harvesting and threshing. It was in class 6 that you studied threshing to separate the grains from their stem. Let us study in detail what is harvesting and threshing. Once a crop is matured, farmer cut it and gather it. The process of cutting and gathering of crop is called harvesting. For example, for rabi crop like wheat, harvesting is done in March and April. In case of paddy, it is done in September or October. In harvesting, crops are cut close to the ground. In India, it is done either manually with a sickle or by a machine called harvester which is attached to a tractor. In case of cereal crops, harvesting is followed by threshing or winnowing. Another step, very important step after harvesting is threshing. The process of separating grain from harvested crop is called threshing. Threshing may be done either manually by striking the harvested crop against a hard surface or by a machine called thresher. There is one more machine that can be used for both harvesting and threshing. It is called combine. Combine is a machine which can help us to do both harvesting and threshing. At the last, storage is the last and very important step of crop production. In this step, the crop produced is stored so that it can be made available for different parts of country throughout the year. The crop produced is a fresh and contain moisture which can be suitable situation for the growth of microorganism. Grain contain high amount of moisture which is not good for the storage. So before storing the crop, moisture is removed so that microorganisms should not grow. As we know, moisture in grain or the storerooms promote the growth of microorganisms which can destroy the crop. Grains are stored in metallic bins or silos to protect them from moisture and rodents. Get many food items from animal. A number of food items that we get from animals are milk, egg, meat, honey, fish. The food which we get from animals are rich source of nutrient, as meat is rich in fat and protein. Milk, egg, fish are rich in protein. Cod liver oil obtained from fish is rich in vitamin D. Rearing of animals or a cattle is called animal husbandry. Rearing of different animal is done, like rearing of fish is called pisciculture, rearing of bird is called poultry, rearing of silkworm is called sericulture. You might have heard this in class 7 in processing of silk. There is one more term, apiculture, which is related to rearing of honeybees. Rearing of animal at large scale is done to get food and other uses. They are provided with shelter and food and other medical facilities. Here we finish explanation part of the chapter. Last part will be shared soon, in which we will discuss activities, worksheets and question answers. Take care. Bye students. We will meet soon.